Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, here with another video for you guys today. And today we're going to be taking a tour of my arcade slash game room slash collectibles room, whatever you want to call it. My man cave, fun cave, whatever. But before I go any further, let me just say, if you like this video or any other videos on my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be getting into my arcade tour after my intro coming in now. So here, and we're gonna start against this wall with my classic, or my console collection here. A lot of different consoles and stuff that I've collected from over the years. And here we'll start with the Atari 2600. And then next to that we have the original Nintendo, and sitting on top of the Nintendo is the Plasma Series Terror Dog Build-A-Figure. And then we have a Sega Genesis, and back there you can see a bunch of VHS tapes that I have collected over the years. And then we have the version 2 Super Nintendo. And then here's one of my personal favorite consoles of all time, the Sega Saturn. And then we have the Nintendo 64. And Sega Dreamcast. And then finally we have the GameCube over here. And again, these consoles have all been officially retired in my room because I no longer need to play them on original hardware, and we'll get down into that a little bit later. And then here are just some boxes I put up here on this high shelf just to add some decor to the room. And then here are my Sega Saturn games. I don't have a ton anymore, just a few. And then here is my Super Nintendo games, and then we have some Dreamcast and DS games. And here's some computer games and some GameCube games. Original Xbox. And then finally we make our way over here to the Xbox 360. I see a original Xbox game made its way in there. They're not in alphabetical order. My son plays them quite frequently, so I just kind of tossed them in there for the sake of the video. And then here on the end we actually have Nintendo Switch games. And then here is the motherboard and the RX 580 GPU that is in my personal computer. And then on top of that we have two GT 1030s that I like to put in Dell Optiplexes. And then on top of that we have this Radeon that's in my daughter's PC. I like to do a lot of... I'm into PC gaming now, so I don't have the newest Xbox or PS5. But here is my X-Arcade tank stick setup, and I have this all hooked up to consoles now. It was originally my original arcade stick that I had hooked up to a PC, and this is what I designed this setup for, was to hook up to a PC originally. But then Arcade 1-Ups came out, and that was a different story. But you can see I have the original Xbox, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Switch are all hooked up to the tank stick. And then here I have my record player, because I do collect vinyl as well. And on top of there, here is my digital recorder that I use to overdub all of my audio, because I like to do the audio and video separately. Little YouTube tip there. Again, here is my console section. And then here got some of our Marvel X-Men specifically kind of action figures I have on display here. Nothing super special, but you know, I thought they were pretty cool. And up here we have a Hulk mask and some original Duke Xbox controllers. And here are my Atari 2600 games. I don't have a ton of 2600 games, just a few of them, but I have them up here on a shelf so they can look nice and on display and all that good fun stuff. Then next to there we have my NES games. I used to have a ton more, but unfortunately this is all that has survived my youth, so this is what I have now. And again, I don't actually play the cartridges anymore, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So you mostly just use them for decor. And while I do collect for these systems, I'm not like a crazy diehard collector that I have to have them all. And then here's the original Zapper and some original controllers that I kind of have on display hanging underneath the shelf there. And then over here on this shelf we have an original NES cleaning kit that I got at a swap meet quite a few years ago now. And then here is just some DVD sets. And then here is my autograph frame section that I have of one of the original Michael Myers and then 3 actors from the original Friday the 13th movie. So I thought this was pretty cool. Got it here on display in the arcade. And then here is my Star Wars action figure collection. These are all from around the early 2000s time. So they're not super old, but they're not super new either. And then here is my arcade 1-up Marvel pinball machine. And I have done one mod to this, as you'll see when we get to all of my actual arcades. I very rarely leave anything stock, so I just wanted to give a little look and idea at it as I'm playing here one-handed. Sorry for the shaky camera. But the mod that I did on this particular machine is I just moved the solenoids to help give it a little bit more punch and feel when you press the buttons. It was a simple little trick that I saw on Facebook, and I moved them up underneath here. Makes a big difference. I highly recommend that you do it. Simple little mod, but very worth it in the long run, in my opinion. Overall, that's a great cabinet, though. I love my Marvel pinball. And then here is my MVSX with my Shiranui topper on top. Gotta have that if you're gonna have this cabinet. And this is actually my second favorite cabinet in my arcade. I absolutely love this thing. And the mod that I did to this is I put IL Euro sticks and some HAP buttons on it, which I have the videos on that on my channel that I will link here right now, so you can go watch those if you want to learn more on it. But yes, absolutely fantastic cab that I have the Hilo X installed on as well. So not only does it have the 50 built-in games, but it has a ton others. Just fantastic cab that I highly recommend. And it goes great in here with an arcade 1-up collection, obviously. And then here is my very first arcade 1-up cab that I purchased, and that is Mortal Kombat 2. And I made some few changes to this. The first being around the bezel with all the move list bezel. I added that from Arcade Graphics. So that's the one most noticeable visible change. But I also put in HAP competition and HAP buttons which I have videos on my channel on this as well that I will link right now, so you can go learn more about how I was able to accomplish that if it strikes your fancy. And then here is my original Asteroids cab. And while I only paid I think I paid $50 for this thing, what I did is I put the 12-in-1 PCB, the 12-in-1 control panel, and I actually put the GRS spinner and GRS trackball in it. And I'm telling you, this thing is a pretty awesome cabinet now, making those little changes, especially, you know, considering how cheap I got it originally. And here, so you can see the games list. It is indeed the 12-in-1, so even though it says just Asteroids on the marquee, it is indeed the 12-in-1. The one downside about this cab, though, is it does not save high scores for most of the games. A few of them do, but not most of them, and so we actually made a little high score board for some of the games that don't. Even though Pac-Man does, we put it on there just to make it a little bit more competitive. It's as with Q*bert. And then Missile Command and Tempest are from the 12-in-1 cab, and they don't save. And then here's my original Pac-Man cab. I got this for, I believe it was $75 on clearance. So I got a good deal on this one as well. And I put a zippy stick in there. Made a big difference with the joystick over the stock one. If you can't tell already, I'm pretty picky about my sticks and buttons. I like to have some decent quality stuff. And then here are my collectible action figures collection. And then here's above my row of arcade one-ups here. My wife made that Pac-Man sign there. Gotta have some neon. And then my wife made that Ghostbusters sign down there as well. She's quite crafty. And then here's more of my action figures. I have the original McFarlane Freddy. And then here is the Plasma Series Dana Barrett. And we'll get more into the Plasma Series in a bit. And then here are my NECA Jason Voorhees collection. I am currently out to get them all. Roy here from Part 5 just arrived today at the making of this video. And then I have the McFarlane Jason here down on the far end. And then here is my only cab that I have left 100% stock, and that is my Ninja Turtles cab. And the main reason why I have not touched this one at all is because the sticks and buttons that come on this one for just a beat-em-up game I find perfectly acceptable. So I haven't had the desire or need to change them out. I think they get the job done for these two games. So again, this is the only machine I haven't modded. And then here is my Ninja Turtle action figure collection. These are all retro action figures, obviously. And I'll be getting into more of these guys here a little later on in the video, so stay tuned for some more fun Ninja Turtles action. And then here's some more, got a GameCube controller and some Super Nintendo controllers, just like using them as decor. Some more action figure collectibles up there. And then here is my custom Daytona USA cabinet. I'm super proud of this thing, and I have not shown it off on YouTube much. I have made some posts on Facebook on it, but it has the Xbox 360 steering wheel, and it's custom graphics from Arcade Graphics. And I installed the buttons here myself, you know, because you need a few buttons to navigate the menus. And I actually have a Dell Dimensions PC, an old Dell Dimensions in here, running it with a Mala front end. It's not super fancy, and I plan to upgrade it eventually, but it gets the job done for now. But like I said, I plan on putting a Dell Optiplex in here with a 1030 eventually. But I'm just kind of riding this Dell Dimensions until it dies, because it's one of my original gaming PCs, which I have had a video on it that I'll link here as well. And then here is my absolute favorite cabinet that is in my room, and it's because I put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. See, it's got a Dell Optiplex running it, and I can hook a headset into it, an Xbox One controller, and this thing plays modern games as well as classic games, and I have an Amtrak hooked up to that. Hope to get a Sinden light gun eventually. Plan to upgrade to that. But this thing can play Fortnite, Red Dead Redemption 2, tons of modern games, as well as all the retro classic games. And this is a custom control panel I built myself, and it has IL buttons and generic IL sticks, I should say, and generic HAP buttons with the cherry micro switches. Gotta have the cherry micro switches, in my opinion, if you're gonna put them in there. But I put so much time and effort into this thing. That's why it's my personal favorite. It's not the prettiest, that's for sure. It's actually probably one of the uglier ones in my room. But I mean, just look at all the stuff that I got on here. I got the big box front end running it. Yeah, and you can see all the different games I got on here just from the arcade system. And then here's all the systems on here. I got the Atari 2600, 7800, Mugen, TurboGrafx 16, Nintendo 64, original Nintendo, Game Boy, GameCube, Wii, Sega CD, Dreamcast, Genesis, Sega Master System, PlayStation, Super Nintendo, and here's all my PC games like Steam and Epic Games. They go in there, and we're back to arcade. But this thing's just got so much on it that it's why I can say that I've officially retired my original systems, even though it is nice to play on original hardware. The ease of play that this machine offers just is so nice, and it's all in one nice package. And again, I've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this cabinet that it just has to be my favorite. And then here, get some images from around the room, and we're gonna pan around. So you can get some more views of my game room. I know a lot of other guys might have more games, but I like the fact that pretty much all of mine have some custom changes to them, with the exception of the Ninja Turtles, obviously. And if you guys are interested, I'd love to do a video on the Daytona USA eventually. And here is my son's Ninja Turtle collection. This isn't all the action figures he has, but here's the sewer and the Technodrome. And then here's his original Kenner Firehouse from Ghostbusters, obviously. And here's the rest of the Plasma series line. So we do have them all, but these are actually his toys that he plays with, and that's why they're just kind of in there doing whatever they're doing. I'm just glad I got them picked up decent enough for the sake of the video. And here's his Playmobil Ghostbusters Firehouse. And speaking of Ghostbusters, here is our Proton Pack collection. Here is an old school original Kenner one that I painted up many years ago. I kind of regret doing now, but what can you do? What's been done's been done. And here's my son's big Proton Pack. It's got a Spengler wand on it, Spirit wand. And here's my pack. And the slime blower lights do come on, but the batteries were dead, and I didn't feel like changing them for the sake of this video. Plus, I plan on doing a video probably dedicated to at least one or two of these Proton packs in the future. Just haven't gotten around to them yet, but I absolutely love mine, and you can hear the lovely sounds they make. Just listen to that. Beautiful. That's beautiful. And then here is my wife's Proton pack. Again, these are super fun to do and to have and to be on display in my arcade. Definitely adds a little fun to it. And here is my signed Robert Ory Big Shot Bob basketball. Sorry for the dust. This is up high, and I didn't feel like dusting this stuff way up here. Here's my Michael Jordan collection and some other good NBA players from the 90s and early 2000s. And got some Kobe Bean Bryant down here on the end. And then here's a Clyde Drexler signed ball. So I got 2 of the 5 starting lineups from the 90s Rockets teams. And just here's some more images from around the room. And here's my old school retro refrigerator. Couldn't make this video without showing that off at least once. Well, there you go, guys. That is my video for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I really appreciate it. And if there's any video or any cabs you want me to do more videos on, please let me know down in the comment section. And I'll be seeing you guys all again later. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care, everyone.